Labor's $66 billion COVID spending spree's finally been confirmed as way over the top by a Treasury report that was recently released. They spent like there was no tomorrow, way beyond healthcare needs, with just 18% of the money actually going to pandemic health costs. Instead, funds also went to things like school lunches and art therapy. Treasury warned Labor to pull it back, but they didn't listen, raking up costs equal to 20% of GDP. The report suggests monetary policy should carry more weight next time, rather than such reckless fiscal splurging. Most of New Zealand knew that. My first guest knew that. In fact, he said that he was mocked roundly for daring to call out the massive amounts being spent on tick. Elliot Ikilei is a member of Hobson's Pledge, and it's great to have him back on the show. Elliot, good afternoon.
Oh, kia ora, Lee. Great to be here. How you doing?
No, I'm doing great. For those that can see, you've got yourself, you're working the high-vis vest today, which is very appealing. Have you been moving traffic?
I'm actually working from home today. So I was working early this morning on site, and so I've just come back. So I've jumped in and jumped onto the laptop.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I love it. High-vis, I love it. We've got a bit to talk about, Elliot, so this is kind of where I'm going to start, but we are going to move into other things. And you know, I want to talk about the Treasury report. I mean, it's cold comfort, isn't it, now that you are proven correct, but you probably didn't want to be.
Yes, you couldn't have said it better. At the time, during that 2020, 2021, and in 22, and even beyond, we were just screaming out that Labour just stop. And even to the point of, at that time, I was with New Conservative, we were a social conservative party, and we were even placing ourselves to say, hey, look, we'll even give up on some of our things just so that you stop, please. We sought to request and nearly beg for them to stop pumping money into so many different avenues that seemed bizarre. You brought up just a couple of them. Art therapy, we had, it wasn't just their funneling money, but also their bizarre relationship with big business. They seem to really focus on looking after big business, and small and some medium business were just not just left out of the cold, but Deborah Russell once effectively blamed small business for not being resilient enough during their policies that destroyed so many of them. So their economic policies can be described best as a socialist dream. They had power and control, and they did not hesitate to wield it and use it. And myself and others were there saying, you are putting us in so much debt that our children and possibly our children's children will feel the after effects. And that's exactly what happened. You're right. It is cold comfort. We hate being proven correct, but it was very clear that their disgraceful conduct of our economic situation was going to be this way.
It's interesting that Chris Hipkins, Elliot, is dismissing this. He's calling it Treasury spin, and that they prioritise keeping people alive and keeping people in jobs. He says that is what other countries also spent up large with the same objectives. Why could he not admit it, Elliot?
Well, this reminds me of when Chris Hipkins also stated that when it was put to him about the coercion and the mandating of laws around vaccinations, he infamously now said that everyone had a choice. No one was forced to, everyone had a choice. Right. And that, I think, shocking statement made by Chris Hipkins, who was the Minister for COVID reaction. For him to say that was disgraceful and proves yet again why he shouldn't be even near the levers of power. Yeah. What he's done here is, again, dismissed the pain and the anguish from so many New Zealanders who didn't just lose their jobs. There have been occasions, and I remember the Pukekohe Mad Butcher, who he had ordered things in between when the policies kept on swapping over, kept on changing. He ordered a whole bunch of stock because he was desperately trying to keep the jobs for his workers. The government, Jacinda Ardern, Chris Hipkins, they changed the policy yet again. They stuffed it up. All of that stock had to be gotten rid of. That Pukekohe guy ended up killing himself.
Yeah.
A tragedy. So many traumatic areas. And what does he do? He shoo-shoos it away, says, nah, it's just spin. And he shows why he is so out of touch of New Zealand and New Zealanders. It's not even funny.
I mean, and also this is the guy that doesn't know what a woman is either. So there's quite a few issues here. But, having said all of that, Elliot, the latest Taxpayers Union Curia poll has the election on a knife edge, with Labour overtaking National on 33.6%, National dropping 2.1 points to be on 31.8. Why have people forgotten?
This is a very good point to raise up. And 2020 election was also a little bit like this as well. Again, I'm putting on my little conservative commentator hat here, but you look at the 2020 election, and if you view the 2017 to 2020 campaign policies that were put out there, they were quite shockingly bad policies. They were really, really bad.
Yeah.
But 2020 came around and people got all scared and they threw their vote at Labour, hoping that Jacinda would save them. The 2020 to 2023 was an absolute debacle. You'd have to be blind. You'd have to be poking your own eyes out to not realise the damage that they've done.
Yeah.
I really struggle to understand the people who I love, the New Zealand population, as to why we have such short-term memories. And the argument that we work during the day and then we go out there, and so we don't have all of the deep thinking about politics, that argument can only go for so long. As a people, we really have to be aware of what policies are being made, who's making them, and where these are coming from. And I'll use one example. The Pacifica people, who I have that's where I come from, that's what I was raised in, it is Pacifica people. Pacifica people are also the only group who will vote for Labour en masse. No other people group will do that. And one of the main reasons is the dawn rates. Now, that's why many of them vote for the dawn rates, is that Labour is apparently the ones who are against it. However, most Pacifica still do not know that the Labour Party started the dawn rates. So I think there's a lack of awareness, and I don't like saying education, but perhaps it is a bit of a lack of education in these civil environments. And we've also got a situation where many of our people just want to forget about things and pretend like nothing's happened.
Yeah. Because, I'll remind everyone, Labor's looking like they will introduce capital gains tax, higher debt limits, and more government outlays. So people need to inform themselves. And
don't forget, Leah, that I believe Chloe Swarbrick just this morning I believe she's making lots of noise that she would like to be involved in the financial decision making of any progressive government in the near future. So,
it's like a horror movie, and horror's my genre. Just on a side note, actually, Elliot, we went to beautiful Waiheke Island just for the night over the weekend to catch a friend who had a gig over there. And I was waiting in line to get on the ferry, and as soon as I got in there, as soon as we lined up, I said to my husband, we were some friends, I said, oh my God, look over my shoulder, look over my shoulder. He goes, why? I said, look who's behind, look who's like three, like right there. And he's like, who am I looking at? I said, Grant Robertson. And he goes, my husband goes like this, oh my God, it is too. And he literally looked straight at me and was talking to his partner and friends and laughing. And I just, Elliot, my blood was boiling. I thought, he said, don't say anything. I said, I'm not going to say anything.
They are the rich elites. They are the rich elites who became rich because they were in Parliament.
Yeah. I was surprised he was in line. I thought it might have been helicoptering over, but anyway, he got on a ferry like the rest of us plebs. All right, let's talk about Hobson pledged the Māori ward billboards that featured a stock image of a Māori woman. She had a moko kawai. She says her image was used without her knowledge. Don Brash denies that. He said incorrect, sorry. Her image was legally purchased, but the billboards were taken down, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. But can you, what did you make of that? Was that, it was a stock file image, right? And you pay to use them. So I don't know when it was taken. Do we know more about this woman? Do you know much?